Negative and positive impacts of globalization on languages, cultures, and national identities. Globalization is a social process characterized by the existence of global economic, political, cultural, linguistic, and environmental interconnection and flows that make the many of the currently existing borders and boundaries irrelevant. Negative and positive impacts of globalization on languages. Globalization is readily increasing in today's world. This increase in globalization has many effects on language, both positive and negative. These effects on language in turn affect the culture of the language in many ways. However, with globalization allowing languages and their cultures to spread and dominate on a global scale, it also leads to the extinction of other languages and cultures. Language contribute to the formation of culture, such as through vocabulary, greetings, or humor. Language is in a sense the substance of culture. Languages serves as important symbols of group belonging, enabling different groups of people to know what ethnic groups they belong to and what common heritages they share. Without a language, people would lose their cultural identity. Languages are also the essential medium in which the ability to communicate across culture develops. Knowledge of one or several languages enables us to perceive in new horizons, to think globally, and to increase our understanding of ourselves and of our neighbors. Languages are then the very lifeline of globalization. Without language, there would be no globalization, and vice versa. Without globalization, there would be no world languages. Positive and negative impacts of globalization on culture. Positive impact. Globalization of culture contributes to the exchange of cultural values of different countries, the convergence of traditions. Because of globalization, you can purchase cheaper goods, communicate with individuals from all over the world, and work in just about any country. Importantly, globalization has also opened our eyes to various cultures, which has increased people's understanding of one another. In addition, globalization has expanded the knowledge and traditions of cultures around the world, binding the society as one. Negative impacts. The major consequences of globalization have been the transmogrification of traditional religions and belief systems, the beginning of the disintegration of the traditional social fabrics and shared norms by consumerism, cyberculture, newfangled religions, and changing work ethics and work rhythms. The fast spreading economy forcing an ever increasing number of individuals to fall back upon the easily accessible pretentious religious banalities and attributing to religion the creation and acceleration of extremist, fundamentalist, and terrorist tendencies in the third world countries. Positive and negative impacts of globalization on national identities. Positive impacts. Globalization impacts on our identities by enabling us to experience a wider range of material cultures such as food and music. How we make sense of these global cultural flows will modify on our sense of who we are. Our identities are complex and forever changing. Negative impacts. The blurring of boundaries interfering with attempts to perceive distinctive local or national identities, globalization promotes cosmopolitan identity rather than enhancing identification with a local or national community. Beck, 2006. Globalization also influences our cultural identity and affinity groups. Technology allows us to eliminate communication boundaries and interact with each other on global scale. Globalization lends itself to cultural homogenization that is the world becoming culturally similar.